What's going on, people? It's your girl, Darker Brown, and the one, the only.
You already know what it is. What's happening, folks? It's your boy, the infamous AT Alien himself, the outcast of podcasts. But it's all right. Call me the Mister. What goes on, Darker?
What's going on with you?
This is Wednesday. It's finally cooling down. Thank God.
Yeah.
You can crack the window at night and get like the best sleep you ever had. So everything's copacetic over here.
Yes, it is very nice to have the weather have changed. It's definitely not as humid at all. My skin's starting to dry up a little bit. My hair got dry. So I'm having
Right.
to moisturize.
See, you got that glow going on over there. I see your partner.
Gotta do it. Gotta get that grease, that oil on you.
You know,
yeah.
So what's up, Darko? What's been going on in your world lately? You know, it's been a few weeks since we talked to the people. Let's give everybody an update on where we are or what's been going on in our worlds.
Yeah, no. So it's definitely been a few weeks since last we've seen the good people. Been out here in these streets trying to live my life, do the best I can, and figure out how to move the pieces now that the pieces have moved a little bit.
Hey, man, I can feel that.
Everything is always in motion. Things are always changing. And just when you think you got it set, everything's like, ooh, psych. So I've just been in like psych mode for like 3 months now, 3 months now. And so I've been rolling with it. It hasn't been easy. There's been a lot of ups and downs, but you know, it's life. And so we do what we got to do.
Hey, I like to say life is lifing because it's been kind of the same thing over here. I've been in a continuous battle with my garbage disposal services because they can't seem to pick up my trash on a weekly basis. So that's become a drama in and of itself. And it's one of those things where you see yourself becoming an adult where it's like I'm excited to see the trash man come and pick up my trash. And I don't know if that's just an adult thing or that's just I need more excitement in my life. But that's kind of where we are at this moment.
I think it's probably both of them. And definitely not having the garbage man getting to pick up your garbage on a weekly basis is definitely first world problems, and that's okay.
Right.
That's okay.
For sure.
However, systems are systems, and this particular system is not working for you.
Right. You know, when you're dealing with two trash services and both of them can't seem to run, there's something in the water, and I don't know what it is. I just hope they get it fixed.
Incompetence. That is
exactly. And there's a lot of that in this neighborhood, but that's another story for another time.
Another day.
So Doc, getting into the meat and potatoes of today's show, it's looking like we have a presidential disaster on our hands for 2024, and that's for a multitude of reasons. There are questions about both candidates' health. Right now, the Republicans decided that they're just going to have an impeachment inquiry on Joe Biden for no reason because Hunter Biden apparently used drugs and bought a gun. Not sure how that's impeachable, but it's just a lot. And let's just start off talking about the current sitting president, Mr. Joe Biden. Darker, how are you feeling with all the, which I feel like is made up controversy that we're dealing with in the recent history?
Yeah, Republicans are petty, tit for tat. And from what I've heard, there isn't like a lot of evidence, and they want to use the impeachment to find the evidence, and that's not how it's supposed to go. You're supposed to kind of like have evidence and kind of like have cause that will then trigger the investigation. So it's already starting out weak. It's already starting out petty just because Trump got impeached twice, and it's a waste of time. Republicans are always going back and trying to go back to good old days, go back to old taxes, go back to things that didn't work and still don't work. And it's not going to work for us to go backwards with Joe Biden. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. And it looks like McCarthy is taking much deserved welts.
Yeah, he got some slashes on him. That's for damn sure.
He earned it. And so for all of that, that makes me enjoy it, for McCarthy to be getting his just due.
Right. And get in on this. It's so much I don't even really know where to start, but I'll start here. Just picking up where you all left off. McCarthy's trash. Like, he doesn't even have the votes for this. And yet he brings it forward to pacify Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz. And again, like you said, there's so much going on in the country that they could be tackling. They could be actually making political points for their party, but yet here we are impeaching the president for what again? Because I don't know of a single person in this country who voted for Hunter Biden. And more importantly, if the Republicans are going to take to trying to impeach someone for actions that happened before they were in office, they may very well want to take a long, hard look at their presidential candidate. Because if the Democrats take the Congress, I very well see them impeach. And Trump was to somehow miraculously win the election, I guarantee you they will impeach Trump before he takes office to show their power and to show just how much of an issue it's going to be between them and Trump. Because they would have every reason to. They wouldn't even have to do a deep investigation because by then he probably will have been found guilty of at least one felony crime, at least one. That's not including the rape charges. That's not including the bad business practices. That's not including Trump businesses being kicked out of New York. You see what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, you guys better really think about what you're doing because the precedent you may be setting isn't a good one, especially when the person that you're trying to cover up for is that weak. The flip side of that is Joe Biden, and in his age, I think that's just becoming Hillary Clinton's emails. I mean, I just, at the end of the day, he's old. Yes. Do I wish we had somebody younger? Yes. But has he got shit done? Absolutely. He got an infrastructure bill done. He got COVID money passed. He's gotten, as much they fought him on the student loans and getting those student loans paid back, he got money to them. Black unemployment is the lowest it's ever been in this country's history, probably outside slavery, no pun intended. All right. So is he old? Yes, he's old, but he's also getting shit done. Now, the flip side of that is the orange menace himself. And how you feeling about that one, dog?
I don't know. So you talking about this one?
That one, the one facing the gag order, the one who it looks like one of his attorneys in Georgia flipping on him. That one.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about accountability often here. And I think it's a great opportunity to see if accountability will yet again work. Sure, do the gag order. Enjoy that. Enjoy typing that up and emailing that. Will it actually work? I don't know. Will it actually matter? I don't know. These are the X factors. These are the things that are on the table for us right now that we would assume would go in a particular direction, but that we've seen have not necessarily always gone in a particular direction. And so for me, Trump is a stress test. He is a systemic stress test on all of our various things that are in place to have us feel like we have a democracy. And so, we need a stress test. What are we?
Right.
200 some years in now? Oh, we're so young. We need this.
Earlier, you told me I was complaining about a first world problem, and I'm going to bring that in here specifically when it comes into this debate between these two probable candidates. And again, one is old. The other one is a criminal. He's not even a mastermind. He's just a flat out fucking crook. You know what I'm saying? Who's also been successively accused and found guilty of sexual assault. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got a whole laundry list of issues with this man. Also, he's pretty much claiming that I'm going to be king when I'm in office, and anybody who ever defied me or said anything bad about me better fear, because I'm cutting heads as soon as I get in office. I'm getting rid of all the Justice Department. I'm getting rid of all the military that don't like me. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And if you think that's a threat, you are out your freaking mind. That man literally tried to overthrow the government once. Why in the hell would anybody think that he wouldn't do the exact same thing again?
That's great.
All I can hope is that the contrast between the two becomes so great that it finally gets the majority off the sidelines and begin to participate in the process themselves, because that may be the only thing that saves us.
Yeah, it's crazy to me how I would say in my voting, my eligible to vote lifetime, how many people approach each election are on the fence.
Mm-hmm.
That blows my mind that people,
Completely.
It could go either way for people. It seems so clear cut to me. Yes, it is the lesser of two evils. Like, I get that. But for damn sure, it ain't going to be George Bush. For damn sure, it ain't going to be, who is it, Huckabee? I don't know. For damn sure, it's not, you see what I'm saying? So it's
absolutely.
I can't imagine being, and with each, I would say the past 3 presidential elections, the stakes have only exponentially increased.
Right.
It would seem if people are so polarized, why is it that there's still so many people on the fence? It's the on the fence motherfuckers are the ones
that are truly the problem.
Aside. So
yeah, I mean, I'm not going to argue with you at all on that, Darker, but let's keep the party rolling right now. Let's go to the more positive stuff. Unless you've been under a rock, you may not know it, but folks, it is prime time in Colorado. One Deion Sanders, former Atlanta Falcon, former Florida State Seminole, former Dallas Cowboy, former San Francisco 49er, Mr. Atlanta himself is balling out of control as the head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes. And his moment is kind of becoming a cultural moment for Black folks around the country.
I mean, tell us why. Like, I don't do the football, and like, I know Deion Sanders is like the man or whatever, but like, who cares about Colorado? Why do we care?
We care because this is one of those situations where if you don't know much about me, I don't watch the NFL. The reason I don't watch the NFL is because of the blatant racism that is the NFL in its entire existence. You have to be hiding under a rock because we've been discussing the same issues when it comes to the NFL around Black coaching, around Black ownership, around Black management ad nauseum, and nothing is freaking changing. Nothing's ever going to change. So I refuse to watch the product. Now with Deion and why we should care, Deion is a prime example of a Black man who's excelled in the sport of football. He's probably the greatest player ever at his position. He was coached by some of the best coaches in NFL history. He won Super Bowls. He was a commentator. This man has lived and breathed football 30 years of his life while coaching his children. And for some reason, we know what that reason is, but for some strange reason, many folks thought this loud, confident Black man couldn't lead young men and he couldn't be a head coach. And if he was a head coach when he was against those Black schools, there's no way he was going to go to a white school and dominate these white coaches that were smart and intelligent and had these grand schemes and knew what they were doing and blah, blah, blah. Guess what? Prime time is still winning. Ooh. When are we going to stop doubting Black folks? When are we going to stop putting caps on what we can accomplish? Because it's Black folks that would say why Deion shouldn't be a head coach. Mm-hmm. When are we going to stop putting limits on ourselves and what we can do to make somebody else feel more comfortable in their skin?
Right. It's better when they underestimate you, but at some point, the fact that people underestimate you is really a reflection of them. It's really not a reflection of you.
Right. And sometimes, man, the greatness is so in your face. Like I said, like this man has won Super Bowls. He's one of the greatest people ever to put on a helmet and shoulder pads. Why wouldn't he be able to coach? This isn't rocket science. This is freaking football. And I'd assume somebody who played the best at the highest level ever would know how to teach someone else how to do same said sport. But what do I know? All I know is quit doubting our people. Every time we get an opportunity to bust that glass ceiling, we do that. Look what Obama did for the presidency, and y'all followed it up with Trump. All I'm saying is let us do what we do and enjoy our hard work. That's all.
White men feel like since they've been owning the teams and coaching the teams, that they're the only ones qualified to own and coach the teams.
Absolutely.
Black folks, since they've only seen that, right? And you said it. Don't have a personality.
Right. Don't be outspoken.
What? Never. Now you got people preying on your down. They want you to fail. And I can imagine somebody like Deion Sanders that only fuels him more.
Right. And it's unfortunate, man. And you hate the crabs in a barrel syndrome that some people have. But all I'm gonna say on the subject before we go on to the next one is appreciate greatness when you're seeing it and maybe be ahead of the curve instead of behind it, and root for this brother to continue his success, man. Because Prime is doing the damn thing.
And there's no barrel.
Damn right.
And damn right. No barrel. So
now, Dark, I want you to take the lead on this next one because as a woman, some of your fellow women folk out here, they out here. Like what the kids say, we out here. They out here. And Sexy Red has a lip gloss line coming out, and I just kind of let you go through it with the peoples.
I don't really know why you want me to take lead on the story. I really feel like it's kind of like a cheap shot. Like you really just trying to get out because you really don't want to do it. Because I don't really want to do it either. Because like I don't know about y'all, but if you take a look at the names of her lip gloss line coming out, okay, I'm old school. However, I have an edge. I'm a bit of a rebel, right? Mm-hmm. Even this is making me clutch my pearls. Okay. Coochie juice. Dude, are you gonna make me read these? Booty hole brown.
Hey.
Coochie pink. Next period. Gonorrhea. Yellow discharge and nut.
And that.
I just
And she want people to put this on their lips, man.
I think I just
My thing is, when it comes to us, right? When it comes to the culture, why do we have to scrape the literal bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the barrel to find people that we want to elevate to a point where they can have a public voice to do something like this? She could have named her lip gloss anything, and she named it Coochie Juice. What are we doing, and why?
I mean, my delicate senses at first are offended, and also I've heard some really interesting conversations about like all the ranges of Black people and Black women and their existence and how they choose to represent themselves, and like it doesn't have to be loved by everybody. It's not supposed to be like for everybody, but that doesn't mean that this type of person doesn't get to exist or enjoy or to be like successful. And so I mean, like I feel that in the range of music and in the range of the Black female and Black experience, I mean, I'm sure we all probably know a Sexy Red. Now,
Right.
if you're talking about business and the kids and representation, I mean, I'm sure it'll fly off the shelves. So it's smart, right?
No, I mean it's kind of like it's kind of it's kind of old adage. Just because you can sell something, should you sell it? You know what I mean?
Well, I could say that about the weapons industry.
Absolutely, and I wouldn't argue with you at all on that. And I mean, at the end of the day, if all she's selling is sex, go for it. I guess my thing is like it's like a copy, right? The old saying about when you make a copy of something, it deteriorates, and every copy gets a little worse and a little worse and a little worse. Like,
Yes.
if this is where we're at, what's the next version of her going to be like? And then the next version of that, and the next version of that.
That's
Again,
true.
like you can't keep scraping the bottom, because I don't know that it is a bottom. I mean,
When you do that, it does like degrade over time, right?
right.
I mean, I feel like what I'm hearing is there's a difference between selling sex and then selling like this is sexual health.
Right.
You know, like it's not quite like the sexy part of sex. It's
Right.
like,
And on top of that, I mean, one of the great things about hip hop has always been creativity and wordplay. You know what I mean? The ability to say something but not say what you're saying, and yet everybody understand what you're saying.
right.
And it seems like that's just been lost. I don't want to get, too in the weeds of, today's hip hop, but it's like we had freaky, nasty stuff when we were growing up. We had Uncle Luke. So it is what it is. But at the same time, man, like people you had wordplay. People knew how to finesse it into a song where it didn't just immediately turn you off. It wasn't a chick saying my booty hole brown. It's like, you want to scream, we can do better. But then again, you start to wonder, truly, can we?
Yeah, and I would argue, that there's not a lot of creativity in Coochie Pink.
Right. That energy can be put, and I'm not even saying don't rap, absolutely rap, but it's like drill music. It's like you really want to talk about dead people, like, is that cool?
How you do all that.
That's where we are, dog. So yeah, man, Sexy Red. I mean, kudos for the sister for getting the money and taking advantage of her moment in the spotlight, because we know that spotlight is extraordinarily fleeting. And 2 years from now, we won't even remember who Sexy Red is. But you just also got to remember that your time is fleeting, and you really want to choose this way to represent yourself.
Maybe you'll have a little of your gonorrhea lip gloss left over after we forget about Sexy Red.
Hey, all we can do is wish these young folks the best of luck. You know what I'm saying? So we can go ahead and wrap it up right here. That's all we have for them. You got anything before we wrap?
I don't, man. I'm squeezing the last little drip out of summertime. Then it's fall time. Boots and jeans, shawty, all day. Can't wait.
All day. That's what I love to hear. Well, let's wrap it on up right here, folks. Peace and love to everybody out there. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
Bye.